Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's Rodfather 916. It's Monday, which means it's time for a new episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 18. Sorry and apologies. The women are still scrapping. Some of the issues are legit, and I want you to sit with me for a whole second. You're with a group of people that you've known for a long time, and you discover that they're talking about you. Now, in the real world, people talk about people. But it still makes you feel a certain way. And you've learned that people speculating on who you are as a person. And then you have the other side who says, the other side of the coin is people you thought who were your friends, and when things went down, they're sort of missing in action. So in one corner we have Jen Shaw. Y'all know she's arrested. Wanted for many, many things. And of the six women, only Heather has been there for her, called her, followed up on her. The people that she thought were her besties, good friends, nope, not there. People she relied on. I mean, Meredith was her bestie, she thought. You know, she threw Meredith and Lisa, one of the two, a major party of thousands of dollars, hopefully her money. But it could have been the money from those old people, but we don't know. We don't know until we know. So, on one hand, we have Jen, who's discovered, sadly, that when things get tough, the tough got going. On the other hand, we have Meredith. People are speculating on who Meredith is. I mean, because at one point they were close friends, but Meredith's not showing signs of friendship. Now, mind you, Jen's been talking about his son. I mean, you talk about your kids, things are off limit. I've said this several times. But at the same time, if you're looking from a side view, you're kind of wondering, what kind of friend is she? You know, it seems like you could work out those problems since you're supposed to be that close. So I'm curious to get your thoughts on that. But anyway, we're in the episode, and people, there's a whole lot of speculation. Meredith hired a PI. Old news. She said, listen, I hired one to check everybody out, but all the arrows point to you, Jen, my friend. The source of this speculation, the source of all this news is Jennie. So, not only does Meredith go after Jennie, Jen goes after Jennie. And Jennie's a rookie, and she's only the messenger. That's what makes it so bad. Because the other two people who are the originators of all the speculation, sitting there quiet. No one's saying, get off her. No one's saying, no one is saying. So one wonders how this is going to actually end. But there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of hurt, a lot of legitimate hurt. At one point, Meredith calls her husband Seth on the cell phone and saying, listen, I don't think any of these women are my friends. But we learn on this episode that Meredith can hold a grudge. She continues to deny ever calling the FBI. Jen says, None of these women are friends. Everybody's talking about it behind everybody's back. The later the night goes, the crazier things get. At one point, Jen says Mary is her friend. Mary Crosby. Smells like hospital. Mary Crosby is her friend. I mean, the world has flipped upside down. The women try to take sides, but again, the alliances, people are very, very cautious, very careful, because there's a lot of anger, a lot of hurt. I can only say that so much, a lot of anger and a lot of hurt. One more time, a lot of anger and a lot of hurt. So the night progresses. Meredith wants answers. She's enraged, and she wants everybody to enrage. She wants to get all the women together. She doesn't care what time it is. She just wants to get it all out. She wants the truth out. So Lisa, she meets with Lisa. Now Lisa meets and says her piece without being in front of, away from all the other women, which is a little what's a little sketchy. We don't know exactly what Lisa said, all the things Lisa said, but basically Lisa was covering Lisa. Meanwhile, Whitney and Jen hide out in Meredith in Heather's room because they don't want to have a discussion. They don't want to be in the fireworks. They just want to rest. Heather's in bed with a big old box of sugar babies. Whitney somehow got stuck with a big old jar of water, not a jar, but a pitcher of water. Meanwhile, Jen has got sunglasses and a man's hat. And they all get into Heather's bed. And as Heather, if the noise gets close to their room, they just pull up the covers over their head and pretend they're asleep. But again, I said earlier, a few minutes earlier, Meredith holds a grudge. And I have problems with people in my life that way. You need to, if we're friends, you need to talk to me and tell me how I've wronged you so I can correct it. Don't make me pay and do nasty and little squirmy and sketchy stuff. Come on and say what you need to say so we can work through this. But if I don't know there's a problem and you haven't come to me and man up or woman up and tell me there's a problem, I can't fix it. And what happens to someone like me is it ain't that important. If you can't talk to me and I'm your friend, it's not that important. But apparently, Meredith holds grudges. So much so that Lisa asked Meredith, listen, are you mad at me? And Meredith comes out with the truth. Yeah. I've been having hostility towards you since last summer. Naturally, Lisa feels a certain kind of way about that. It's like, could be, and you can tell, because Meredith is feeling it, not Meredith, Lisa's feeling it, I'm sorry. It isn't any different that Meredith holding all this anxiety, or should I say rage, towards Jen about her son. We all get that. But why don't you just cut it loose? Don't play games. Don't give anybody false hope that we're still friends. Because Jen, in the heart of heart, thinks that she and Meredith are friends. And what we're seeing, it ain't happening. But Meredith's not cutting you loose, and I can't do that. I wonder how you guys feel about it. Put that in the chat. Put that in comments. Like I said, I can't fix it if you haven't told me anything about it. And for me, if you can't talk to me, it ain't that important. So anyway, the next day is fine. They go They go out hiking through the Zion forest. Things are cool. They're bonding over all this terror, rappelling down canyons and stuff like that. And at one point, Heather goes to the instructors, look, I lied about my weight on every form. Basically saying, listen, if I need extra support, help a sister out. So they're having a good time. They bond, and these good feelings last through the evening, where they have dinner and they go dancing. And I'm sorry, Meredith, you are not a fashion icon. What is with you and these feathers and these odd things? Anybody remember season 1 where she had this mask on her face covered with rhinestones and some glitter, and she was saying that the people in Salt Lake didn't get her? I think a lot of people in Dallas, Sacramento, New York City, Los Angeles didn't get her either. I'm sorry. Mary can dress, except Mary Mary needs somebody to help her out of the 80s. Clearly Mary liked Madonna 40 years ago. But she has the clothes and it fits her well, but someone needs to style her. But Jennie can dress. Jennie can dress. But it all went well. There were apologies all around. One unexpected apology was from Mary to Jennie. And we see Mary in her own hair, her real hair. She's got a lot of hair. Somebody should have helped her with it, but she looked good. As my friend would say, she looked it good. In her real hair, she did. She looked it good. And she said, listen, new people takes me a while to adjust to. And Jennie is a rookie. I'm not buying that totally. I think the issue for Mary is that Jennie don't take squat from nobody. And the last thing she's afraid of, the last person she's afraid of is Mary. But there was an apology. I'm trying to think how many apologies in life have there been since I'm watching the show. Ding. Anyway, it went well. It was a pretty good episode. We're coming down to the last two. This has been an epic season. Last year was good. This season has been fantastic. It really and truly has. I thought it was going to die with Jen Shaw. I mean, it didn't, unlike Beverly Hills, it didn't rest on one star. And now I can't think of her. Help me, people. In Beverly Hills was Eric Jane. The show lived and died on Eric Jane. And it got kind of boring after a while, even though it was front loose. Multifaceted. And I think the other shows have to step up the game if they're going to be like Salt Lake. There's drama on, and we'll talk about that in my blog, about Jennie not being fond of the Black Lives music, Black Lives Matter following. So, and all the other ladies are sort of protecting themselves. But anyway, we'll get into that later. Meanwhile, tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Wish you love, joy, and happiness. Please be safe. Thanks. I'm out of here. We'll holler later, okay? Bye.